Are you a gym bro? Do you wear excessively cut off t-shirts and still believe in the anabolic window? Do you jump right into your working sets without a warm-up? Of course you do. Here are a few reasons why you shouldn't. What's up, everybody? It's Annie here with Team Brannie in our newest Team Brannie Talks video, where we are going to be going over a proper warm-up. Without a proper warm-up, you hinder your performance. Without a proper warm-up, you will perpetuate the feeling of aches and pains. And without a proper warm-up, you increase your risk of injury. Everyone should have a proper warm-up, whether it be 5 to 10 minutes on a cardio machine to get the blood flowing and the body warm, or a more thorough warm-up to prime the body for training. It is an integral part of the training process that goes highly overlooked. Most of you may know, but for those who do not, there are several different types of stretches. The more common are active stretching, static stretching, and dynamic stretching. Active stretching is where you assume a position and you hold it with no assistance. Static stretching is almost the same as active stretching. It's where you assume a position, but you hold it, taking yourself through the farthest point of the stretch that you can manage. And dynamic stretching is moving your body, increasing it through the range of motion. There's also a technique called self-myofascial release, or SMR for short, where you utilize tools such as a lacrosse ball, a foam roller, or a PVC pipe. Using these tools for self-myofascial release allows you to get deeper into your muscles where you can hit trigger points. Now, which one to do and when? Countless studies have been done to determine whether static stretching should be done before training due to its potential to hinder performance. Now, training is highly individualized, and if static stretching works for you, then by all means, don't let us stop you. However, if you aren't sure what type of stretching is right for you, we would highly suggest dynamic stretching before training and active/static stretching after or more than an hour before heavy training. Dynamic stretching typically mimics movements about to be performed during training, aka specificity, aka the most beneficial way to spend your time and optimize performance. Brett and I routinely incorporate a combination of SMR and dynamic stretching in our warm-ups that we do each time before we train. Right now, our coaches prescribe warm-ups for us based on our individual mobility hindrances, which tend to be rather similar. However, before we had coaches, we would perform movements that would, 1, address an area of concern, and 2, prime our body for movements. Now, Brett and I work 2 very different jobs. I work a desk job, so I'm sitting on my butt for about 7 hours a day. Granted, I do try to get up and stretch and walk around as much as I can, but I do have to be productive at work, so that does involve me sitting down for a majority of my day, which in regards to my training led me to have perpetually tight hips. Almost every single time I went to the gym, I would be complaining about my hips being tight. So during my warm-up, I would address that area of concern and spend time opening up my hips, especially if I was going to be doing squats. Some movements that I would do to address my tight hips would be side lunges, a rocking groin stretch, or some of my favorites, which would be hip circles or the lacrosse ball straight to my hip joints. Just lay there, find a spot, and kind of roll around until you feel it, and then just hang out there for about a minute or 2. Brett, on the other hand, works a very labor-intensive job. He's outside on his feet all day, working with his hands, constantly bending up and down, so he's very active during the day. This leads him to be rather sore once he enters the gym, so he has different aches and pains to work on. A typical problem would be tight QLs. So something that he would do almost every day before our workouts would be to take a lacrosse ball and kind of just, again, find that spot, hang out there for a second to relieve that tension and that ache. These movements that we would be performing during our warm-up would also be priming our body for the movements ahead. Whether we would be squatting, benching, or deadlifting, those movements would be getting us ready to perform those compound lifts. Some of our favorite movements to do to get our bodies warm and primed for movement are leg swings, shoulder rotations, and thoracic spine rotation. There are a million different moves out there that can be utilized during a dynamic warm-up. What you want to make sure those movements are doing is readying your body for the workout to come. Once again, having a proper warm-up is important to alleviate feelings of aches and pains, increase your performance, and drastically reduce the risk for injury, which may just be the most important factor. Basically, if you want to get the most out of your training and train with longevity, it is vital that you start practicing a proper warm-up. Alright everybody, thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat informational or you took something away from it, please comment down below and let us know. Also, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, and please subscribe to the channel. We love making this content for you guys, and stay tuned for more.